In this lesson, you'll learn how to paint a scary shark. Start off by mixing a few different tonal values of grey. I've used Payne's grey as my base and then gradually added larger amounts of white to get the different tonal values. Now block in these tonal values where you see them on the shark. Then blend adjacent colours into each other using a clean dry brush. When blending the colours, take a look to see how quickly or slowly they need to blend into each other to get the shape of the shark correct. In the nose area, notice that there's a dark twilight zone between the sunlit top and the bottom of the shark. Why this twilight zone is dark is because the bottom of the shark is illuminated by reflected light bouncing off the seabed. In other words, our shark is swimming in shallow water. I suggest the nose with Payne's grey, then shade one side of the nostril lighter to show that it's concave. Now look carefully at the bottom of the shark and paint in the subtle variations in the tonal values. You'll notice that as I progress, I'll sometimes revisit areas that have already been painted. As you fill in more of the canvas, you will find that you are then better able to judge the correct tonal values. So as you paint, always keep checking the tonal values across the entire painting. To show the nose, paint the two highlights. The eye is actually super easy to paint as you simply block the correct colors in the correct places and shade them together. What is important is to get the pupil black and add the lighter highlight above it with white, as it's this contrast that makes the shark look alive. Now shade in the dorsal fin before moving on to the tail. Take your time with the tail as you are working with very light colors next to very dark colors, so you need to blend really carefully in this area to ensure that the one doesn't overtake the other. Block in the pelvic fin with neat Payne's grey. Okay, let's paint the pectoral fin. What is tricky here is getting the fin to meet the body correctly, so look carefully at the lost and found lines in this area. Also notice the darker area which indicates the thickness of the fin. The gills are nothing more than a series of parallel shadings. Now you can't tell how many gills there are from the photo, so just add a few. Say 3 or 4. The teeth on the shark is the hardest part, so take your time here. Start off by painting the inside of the mouth with Payne's grey, then suggest the teeth using lighter tonal values. The lighter the tonal value, the more towards the outside of the mouth the tooth will appear. Also notice that each tooth grows in its own direction, and this is what makes the teeth look ragged and dangerous. So please, don't make your shark look like he's just come back from the dentist by painting parallel teeth. With the shark finished, I want you to notice that mine is not nearly the same color as on the photo. Yet, when you look at the painting, the shark looks perfectly real. In other words, as long as you use a grey color, your shark will look great. Block in the bottom 2/3 of the water, working very carefully to not go over the edges of the shark. Then, to stop the water forming a halo effect around the shark, smooth the paint in a horizontal direction. When you get to the top third of the canvas, gradually start adding white to show the sun is overhead. We're going to make it appear as though the shark is just below the water surface. If you do accidentally paint some of the watercolor over the shark, re-establish its edge using the correct color in that area. The top strip of canvas is painted with neat French ultramarine again to form a dark to light to dark shading. Now to show the ripples on the water, work in some white squiggly lines. Blend any hard edges away, then add French ultramarine for contrast between those lines. Continue like this until you have a good movement in the water. So you'll see that I even use my finger to blend the paint. To finish off the painting, use white to squiggle in some random lines on the top of the shark to show the water reflections. And there we have it, one shark scary enough to give kids and some adults nightmares. So I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. If you did, please like the video and leave a comment below. After that, please subscribe for more but less scary tutorials.